Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Fleecy Dale Farm. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be servicing our John Deere 450C Dozer. That includes an engine oil change and filter change, a fuel filter change. We're going to be replacing the coolant. We're going to be checking the oil in the final drives. We're going to be replacing the transmission oil and all the filters that go along with that. We're going to be checking the oil level in the steering clutch housings, and then also replacing the hydraulic system filter and checking the level there. And we'll also be doing a track tension check to check for the correct sag and making any kind of adjustments there that we need to. But before we can do any of that, we need to get the batteries installed back into this dozer. And we have one hydraulic line to replace before we can start it, right here for this lift cylinder. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, well, the hose is replaced. As you can see, it runs back along here, goes underneath this foot platform, kind of snakes back in there, and there's a clamp to clamp it to the other hose for the back of the cylinder. And those two run, like I said, down below this and come up into the enclosure here. And the one that we just changed is this outside one, so it wasn't too bad to get to. That's all back together. We'll check for leaks whenever we get it running, and we'll get the batteries in next. This will be a cold start. It's about 56 degrees outside right now. So we'll see what it does. Alright, we got some of the work done. We're still waiting on a few parts. It's a few weeks later now, but before we checked the final drive housings. This plug here is the fill as well as the correct level. The drain's at the bottom. This would have originally been the steering clutch housing fill plug, but this dozer was converted to a common sump with the transmission. So now the transmission housing as well as the steering clutch housings all share the same oil. So we checked the transmission, dipstick had to add some, so that takes care of those things. I tensioned the tracks, to the correct sag from the middle carrying roller back to the drive sprocket. There's a range that John Deere gives you to check that. And to adjust that, you pump grease into this grease zerk right here. That pumps grease into this cylinder, which pushes the bracket for the idler forward, and that tensions the track. We did also replace the fuel filter, which is on the right hand side in the engine compartment right here. So that's all done. Today we'll be changing the engine oil as well as the coolant, and also changing the air filters. We'll change the air filters now. It's relatively simple. Loosen this clamp at the top. Slide that one out. So we changed the engine oil. Here's the filter for that. Dipstick's right here. Fill cap is here. The drain plug is directly below the engine, and there's a hole in the skid plate so you can get to the drain plug. So that's all changed. We refilled it. We'll have to run it and then check it again, make sure the level's okay. We also changed the transmission oil filter for the transmission oil cooler in the front of the dozer, so that's all been changed. It's actually the same filter as the crankcase filter. The last thing we have left to do is change the antifreeze, and the drain for the radiator is right here in the front. There's also a drain plug for the engine block on the left side right there for the antifreeze. So we'll get that taken care of, and that will be about it. We also added a pre-cleaner bowl. And we're still waiting on the hydraulic filter, which on this model is actually inside the tank. This is an early model 450C. The filter's down inside of this. You have to remove this cover plate, have it on order. It's on back order, but we'll have to replace that after we get it. And also got the air filters changed, as you saw already. And I will say there is one more transmission filter in the bottom of the transmission housing, and we didn't have enough hours on this thing to change it. The oil was good, so we checked the level, topped it off, but in the future we'll probably change that filter as well. So this was by no means a full comprehensive video doing a complete service, more or less just to document some of the filters that we changed. Engine oil, we're going to do the radiator, like I said, the coolant. So hope you found this video interesting. Thanks for watching.